When Johnson hit a 3-run home run, Baltimore had its second 7-run explosion at the expense of the Twins.
Davey Johnson, the starting second baseman for the dynastic Orioles clubs from the late 1960s and early 70s, and who later managed the 1986 Mets to a World Series title, has passed away. Johnson was impactful from the start as a 23-year-old defensive-minded second baseman for the Orioles in 1966. He appeared in 131 games and finished third in the AL Rookie of the Year voting as Baltimore won the pennant. He'd collected 4 hits in the Orioles' 4-game sweep of the Dodgers in the Fall Classic.
Blair is there. He takes it, and the Orioles are the new world champions.
In Johnson's first 6 seasons as an everyday player, the Orioles averaged 97 wins per season, won 4 pennants, and 2 World Series titles. In that stretch, Johnson would win 3 Gold Glove awards and be named to 3 All-Star teams. But after an injury-riddled 1972 campaign, the Orioles dealt Johnson to the Braves in a 6-player deal. Of the trade, Johnson would later say, "It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me in baseball, and the big reason was joining Aaron," as in Henry Aaron. Though Aaron refused any credit, Johnson would put together an historic offensive season at second base, swatting 43 homers, setting a then single-season record for homers at the position. He joined with Darrell Evans and Aaron as the first trio of teammates ever to hit 40 home runs in a season.
Davey Johnson, who played for 4 major league clubs, teamed with Henry Aaron in Atlanta in 1973 and 74, and with Sada Haruo in Tokyo in 75 and 76. Johnson then returned to the majors in 77 and is now managing the New York Mets AA Farm Club in Jackson, Mississippi.
Johnson would manage 3 seasons in the minor leagues, winning a league championship in each of his 3 stops. After managing the Mets AAA affiliate, the Tidewater, in 1983, Johnson was tabbed by Frank Cashin as the Mets' new skipper ahead of the 1984 season.
Started in '84, we had a pretty good ball club. We were young, some young pitchers, but we had a bunch of holes offensively and a little bit defensively. '85 came, we got a little bit better, made a few off-season moves, and we went from 90 games to 98 wins, and I knew we had all the pieces. And all I did was tell the guys in spring what I knew. We were just going to dominate, and no doubt about it.
It all came together in 1986 as the Amazons triumphed in an epic playoff run, culminating in the Fall Classic.
Got it!
It's never over till it's over. I think somebody said that. And this is what it's all about. This is what it's all worth sweating for.
Johnson would continue to find success as a big league manager, but was never able again to recapture the magic of '86. In the 1988 NLCS, the heavily favored Mets fell to the upstart Dodgers in a 7-game series. He would later manage the Reds, Orioles, Dodgers, and Nationals, finding regular season success followed by postseason disappointment.
Going back to the track, to the wall. And what happens here? He contends that a fan reaches up and touches it. Here comes Davey Johnson out to argue as Jeter comes across to tie the game.
Billy Martin, Dusty Baker, and Buck Showalter are the only skippers besides Johnson to manage 4 different clubs to the playoffs. Johnson was twice named Manager of the Year, in 1997 while skippering the Orioles, and 15 years later in 2012 with the Nationals. His .562 winning percentage is top 10 all-time among managers with at least 1,000 career victories. The baseball world mourns the passing of Davey Johnson.